Hey everyone, it's Kristen here, and I just want to jump on and give you guys an honest, real look at this Homsee 10-drawer dresser that I received. I did receive this from the company in exchange for an honest review, but it is just that, an honest review. All thoughts are my own. I'm going to go ahead and start with a full breakdown on how we put this together and some things that may have come up along the way, as well as a closer look at the dresser and all of my thoughts on it. So stay to the end to get all of the information you need. Here's the dresser after a few hours of putting it together. The instructions were really simple and easy to follow, and I'm really impressed with the quality of this dresser. It's made of high quality MDF. It's got a white clean surface. I was actually really surprised with how heavy this dresser is. And it has 4 drawers on the top, which is awesome for separating like your underwear, your socks, smaller things. It fits a ton in the drawer, and the drawers only come out about 2/3 of the way and then stop, which is awesome so they don't fall out of the dresser. And it also has 3 drawers on either side that are bigger, which is great for holding shirts, pants, pajamas. The drawers slide in and out really easily, and it has this silver hardware on it that looks super nice and classy. I love that it has so many drawers on it, so you can have one kid have one side, another kid have another, like my girls that share a room, or it's really big enough for anything you need to put in there. I love the detailing on this dresser, especially the legs that are kind of curved out, and this bar that keep it nice and sturdy. This dresser is amazing. It looks so good in my room, and I'm really impressed with the quality of it. So I would highly recommend this 10-drawer dresser. So now I'm going to take you back to the beginning on how we put this dresser together so you can see every step of the way. So it comes in this nice box. It comes with a ton of pieces. You want to make sure to organize everything before you get started and count all the pieces, as well as make sure you have all the hardware before you get started. Then we gathered all the supplies that we would need according to the instructions and laid them out. We did add a drill just to make it a little bit easier, but we did use it on low whenever we used it, just because it is that MDF. So we started out by taking the side rail and affixing it to the plate number 1, which is the side of the drawer, and it was really easy just to screw on. Then we did the same thing with the other boards. There was a couple boards that we had to do this with. Then we inserted the quick fit screws into the number 2 and 3 plate, which is the bottom of those drawers. Then we took some screws and screwed them into the drawer tracks that go on either side of the dresser to hold in all the drawers. You do this again on the other side as well. Then we inserted the quick fit screws into the corresponding holes. All of this is pre-drilled, so it was really easy to put together and find where all the screws go. So now we're putting everything together that we did previously. So we're taking those number 2 and 3 plates to the bottom of the drawers and screwing them on to the drawer inserts that have the drawer tracks on them. And then we're taking the number 4 plate, which is what we did previously, the outside of the dresser, and attaching them with wooden dowels and the turn cam to tighten the screws, which is awesome because you can't see any of the screws from the outside. Now we're on to the number 6 plate, which is the middle of the dresser, and we fix the side rails onto them that hold the drawers on. You do this on the front and on the back. Just make sure everything is lined up correctly and on the right side. Then we're screwing in the quick fit screws into the bottom of the dresser to hold everything up. Then we put that piece aside and grab the rest of it that we've already done, grab the number 6 plate, which is the middle of the dresser, and use cam locks to turn it into place. Next, we slid in the backs of the dressers. These are folded in half, so they look a little bit smaller when you are looking for this piece, and then we put in the wooden dowels. Next step was taking that bottom plate that we did before and attaching it with the wooden dowels and the screws. And we screwed on this bottom piece as well as the rubber stopper. Then we inserted all of the quick fit screws into the corresponding holes in the legs for the dresser. Then we connected the legs with the number 10 plate and used the cam locks to turn them clockwise to tighten them. We did this on both sides. Then we took the 2 number 11 plates and the number 12 legs and used the cam locks to turn them into place to make the bottom of the dresser. Once the bottom of the dresser was finished, we attached it to the base with cam locks to make sure it was tightened and then carefully flipped the dresser over. We then took screws and screwed them into all 4 corners of the base of the dresser. And then we took the number 24 plate, which is the back of the top of the dresser, and slid it in the slots. Next, we were on to the top of the dresser. We used the quick fit screws in the corresponding holes that are pre-drilled, and then we flipped it over and attached it to the top of the dresser. And then we used some wooden dowels and the cam locks to fully attach the top of the dresser. Next, we were on to making the drawers. So we used the quick fit screws to screw into all the pre-drilled holes. We did use our drill on this on low just to make things go a little quicker because there is a lot of drawers to make. Then we screwed on with a screwdriver the knob onto the dresser drawers. Then we did the same thing with all of the fronts of the small drawers. This did take a little bit to do. Just make sure when you are putting these to the side, you don't stack them like we did. We did accidentally scratch a couple of these, so just make sure they're in a safe area. Then we took some screws and screwed in all the sides of the drawers. This would be a good time to have a second person helping. We also screwed on a middle board into the dresser, which is awesome to keep the drawers in place and not sagging. Then we slid in the bottom of the drawer and then attached the front of the drawer with the cam locks to make sure everything was nice and tight. We did the same process again for all of the big drawers and all of the small drawers. Next, we started putting all the drawer tracks onto the drawers, and this was really easy with those pre-drilled holes. We just used a screwdriver and the screws. Once the drawers are done, we slid them into the dresser, and the dresser was complete. I'm really impressed with how easy this was to put together and how simple the instructions were to follow.